Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. What in the world is going on? Is it true? Is it true? The FBI, the DOJ, hiding information, not allowing information to come out about the Biden crime family? Let's talk about it. Or where they went, they caught 78 known terrorists within the beginning of this year alone. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight's episode. Look, if you haven't already, because I know sometimes the social media platforms don't allow you to get notifications, except for Rumble. I think, to my understanding, Rumble, you get your notifications if you want them. But the other ones, I think they're preventing people from getting a notification. So I'm going to ask you, please set an alarm on your mobile device. Set an alarm for 7 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday. Set an alarm. I will be here Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central. Set an alarm so then that way you don't have to depend on them telling you what you can and cannot watch. Okay, before we get into the major story tonight, I want to share something with you. We got good news, actually. We have phenomenal news. Joe Biden said he's not coming back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Who's happy about that? Who's excited? Who's excited? Are you excited? When he said he's not going, he said, so he's over in Ireland, right? It's Ireland, right? He's over in Ireland, and he says he's not going back to America. What? Now, sadly, you know Joe Biden constantly lies, so it was like short-lived. I was reminded that Joe Biden lied all the time, and it was short-lived. So he's probably going to come back. I mean, he needs to stay over there and tell Kamala Harris to get a one-way ticket, too. But let them all just go over there, right? They love socialism. Let them go. Is Ireland a socialist country? Don't know. Really don't care. But if Joe Biden wants to stay there, then let him stay. I mean, really, we don't need him here. We don't want him here, to be honest with you. But anyways, here's a short clip where he's saying that he's not going to go back to America, but he's going to stay there. You really can't make this stuff up, people. And it would be nice. You know what? That would be, you know what? I would say, Joe Biden, thank you so much for staying and not returning. It would be really awesome if you were to do such a thing.
Thank you all very much. And I'm not going home. I'm staying here. And this is an incredible place. All you American reporters. Looks just like the White House, right?
Okay, so if it's, I mean, he says it doesn't look like the White House to me. Does it look like the White House to you, Shannon? I don't ever recall seeing any images where the White House is looking like that. And I've been to the White House twice with President Trump. Twice. So it doesn't look like the White House to me, but you know what? According to Joe Biden, I probably look like the restroom to him too. I mean, who knows, right?
We probably thinks he is home then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't know. There's no need for him to come back. I mean, really, do us all a favor, Joe. Stay. They probably don't want him there. And here's the proof that they probably don't want him there. Look at this one here. This is, I guess, I don't even know I guess it's the president of Ireland. Is that what it is? I don't even know his name. And I do apologize for not knowing his name. It's really not important to me, to be honest with you. But apparently, he's there walking around with his wife, and Joe Biden is standing there, and they're getting ready to do a photo op.
His name is Higgins.
Higgins? Okay, Higgins.
Yeah, he is the president.
See, that's why that's why my producer's on top of it. My producers keep me in line. Higgins. So I'm assuming this is Higgins' wife that's on the red carpet here with Joe Biden. And they're getting ready to do a photo op. Now, watch this. This is really interesting to me. I mean, it really is. Because we all know about Joe Biden when he gets around certain people, he likes to I like it. Watch this. So they're there. They're getting ready to do a photo op. And he purposely pushed Joe Biden in between them. Because, you know, I think, isn't that how it typically goes? Like the other world leader shows up and then they put that person in between. But look at her response. Look at her response. I mean, she's like, nope. She said, I've seen all the videos of Joe. She's not gonna you're not getting my hair anywhere close to him. I saw that. I'm like, dude. Now, you know what's really funny is that none of the liberal media will probably bring this up, that she actually did this. None of them would. But if it was President Trump, they would make it a big ordeal. They'd be like, oh my goodness, why do you think that she didn't want to stand close to Trump? And they would go, who do you know want to stand close to Trump? Right? Who do you know? He probably smells bad. This is what the liberal media was saying. But I guarantee they say nothing about this. And why won't they say anything about this? And you know what? I would love to ask her the question. Can you tell me why? I mean, seriously, I really want to know. I really want to know why you went from this position. Go back to it for me. I really want to know why you went from this position to this position. She knows what's going on, people. I mean, she's not walking around like Joe Biden, just delirious, like, where am I?
I don't know. He might be. He's literally 1 year older than Biden. He's 81 and Biden's 80.
No, but her. Oh. Why did she move to the other side? And because look, he purposely put Joe in between them, and she saw that taking place, and she's like, I don't want to be next to Joe.
Maybe his reputation is worldwide.
I think it is. How many times has that video gone viral where he was someone's hair? Okay, let's get to the real story. Let's get to some serious stuff tonight. I just want to play that. I mean, I thought it was interesting. Joe Biden said he's not coming back to America. Ooh, we can only wish. We can only wish. But there's other news. You remember the whole Hunter Biden laptop?
Russia.
They said it was Russian propaganda. And come to find out that it wasn't Russian propaganda. They even removed news organizations because they talked about the Russian Hunter Biden laptop. Remember? They said it was all disinformation. It wasn't valid information. It wasn't real. And come to find out that it was. Well, Joe Biden kept denying that he took any money, or Joe Biden kept denying as well that he had no idea of Hunter Biden's criminal activities. Oh, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. There's a video with Joe Biden, which everybody has seen by now, where Joe Biden's sitting on a panel and he's saying, look, if you don't fire the prosecutor going after Burisma Oil, you will not get the $1 billion. And they say, you can't do that. You're not the president. And Joe Biden said, call the president, being Obama at the time. He said, call him. He's in agreement with me on this. And you have leftists right now saying that video does not exist. They're saying that Joe Biden has never said that. And the biggest question that I have with all of that is, when Joe Biden said that about the prosecutor going after Burisma Oil, why in the world would somebody from the United States of America care about any company in another country where a prosecutor is going after that business? Why would he care? Right? I'm pretty sure there are some prosecutors going after businesses in Australia, but you don't hear Joe Biden talking about those businesses. Why not? Well, we all know that Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma. That's the reason why. It's obvious. There's so much evidence that shows the Biden crime family is corrupt, but you have the DOJ and the FBI looking the other way. They're all looking the other way. Listen to this video report that was on Fox News actually talking about the Hunter Biden laptop. But this is really strange because it's not even just a Hunter Biden laptop. This is a young man that used to work for Obama, and he saw the corruption from Hunter Biden and Joe Biden firsthand. He saw the corruption that Obama was doing firsthand. And they're ignoring him. So he has to go on Fox News to tell his story. And he was just a whistleblower. He was trying to keep his name out of it, but they ignored him to the point to where he's like, I have to tell the story because there's so much corruption going on. People, he used to work for Obama. Says a lot.
White House official says he wants to testify to a federal grand jury because he says he has information about then Vice President Joe Biden's role in his son Hunter's business. But he says the FBI has been ignoring him.
Former Obama stenographer Mike McCormick joins us now. Mike, thanks for being here. You say you are a witness to a crime. Walk us through why you say that.
Yes. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
So in April 2014, I was in Air Force Two with Joe Biden and Jake Sullivan. At the time, no one knew that Hunter Biden was already on the board of Burisma Holdings, the natural gas conglomerate from Ukraine.
Listen to this.
Joe Biden is directing Jake Sullivan in the front of the plane what to say to the press. My job as a stenographer on the plane is to record what the vice president or a senior administration official says to the press.
I mean, this dude is a walking evidence box.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he really is. He's walking evidence. He's literally the evidence. If he was actually there transcribing what they were saying, because that was his job, he's writing all of this down, and they're keeping all this information out from the public view, the public eye. Please hit the share button right now. Please hit the share button. No matter how you're watching this, hit the thumbs up and hit the share button on this right now. Let's get people to know the truth, because, you know, they're going to try to prevent anybody and everybody from seeing this.
So I'm sitting back there with the tape recorder. Jake Sullivan comes back and somebody asks him about fracking. His answer is, well, we're bringing a lot of American assistance over for fracking. Burisma was the direct beneficiary of that fracking.
This is devastating. It really is, because they use American taxpayer dollars for Burisma. Burisma Oil, the same company that Hunter Biden had ties to, probably still does for all we know.
And that's what I recorded. And that's in a White House transcript. In the transcript, you don't know who Jake Sullivan is. It's a senior administration official. I'm the witness that says Jake Sullivan is the guy who said it, and he should be investigated, because at the time, Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma, and Joe Biden is bringing American taxpayer money to enrich that company and himself and his family.
Yeah, Mike, let me throw in a few dates here. Hunter joins the Burisma board April 18th, 2014. You have that conversation with Jake Sullivan, April 21st, 2014, outlining how the U.S. would help Ukraine's gas industry with Joe Biden's help. Hunter's role not made public till May 12th, 2014. And then in December of that year, Congress approves $50 million to support Ukraine's energy sector.
You hear that? You hear that? And that is, I guess that's kind of like on top of the $1 billion when Joe Biden, right? You remember sitting on the panel, $1 billion. So they fired the prosecutor before Joe Biden. He said, fire him before I get on the airplane, if I remember correctly, right? Fire him before such and such time. And he said, by darn, he said something else. They canceled the prosecutor because they wanted the $1 billion. Why would he do that? Why? What is the billion? What does Joe Biden care about a prosecutor going after another company if there's some fraudulent activity going on? Why would he care? Obvious. And you know what? I actually played that video where Joe Biden is saying it. And guess what? Is Joe Biden on a panel saying it, and then YouTube gave me a copyright strike. YouTube gave me a copyright strike for it. Why? Because somebody, a leftist, took it and put music with it. And now they're saying that it's copyrighting lyrics. Right? I mean, this is how they operate. This is how they operate. They've even put copyright strikes on my voice sometimes. Right? I guess someone's trying to copyright my voice like I no longer own it, which is kind of crazy to me. Now, here's some more to this story about the Biden crime family and what Obama knew. Obama knew about this as well. And I've said it multiple times before. There's no way, to give you an example, that Obama did not know that they were spying on a candidate running for presidency. There's no way that he did not know. There's no way. Hit the share button on this. Look at this video. Look at this. And this is what that guy talking about him again. But the corruption with the FBI, the DOJ, not any of them wanting to take this gentleman's statement when he was in there. He was a staff member. He was writing this stuff down as they were saying it and doing it. He was writing it down. And they don't want to talk to him. You know why? Because they know if they talk to him, then that means Obama will have to come talk. And I would love to see an indictment for Obama. And there's rumor has it, and that's just rumor, that Obama's thinking about leaving America and going back to Kenya. It's just rumor.
You know, Mike, my biggest question is, you said the FBI has been ignoring you. It's no secret right now that people don't have a lot of faith in the FBI. Would you tell them, and what did they say back to you?
In February, I went to the FBI and filed one of their tips.
Now, listen to this, because this is extremely important. And this man is still walking around free. Let me say that. He's still walking around free. So if you go to the FBI and you leave a tip with the FBI, what do you think would happen if you leave fraudulent information with the FBI? Hit that share button. I'm telling you right now, hit the share button. It's extremely important that this information gets out.
Yeah.
In February, I went to the FBI and filed one of their tips on their website. If you do that and you're lying to them, you go to jail. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth, and I'm not going to jail.
Yes, he's not going to jail because why? He's still out. He's on Fox News telling everybody what the FBI and the DOJ is ignoring. I'm sorry I had to break in there. Hit the share button if you hadn't already. I'm asking you, hit the share button.
Joe Biden is a criminal. He was...
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Joe Biden is a what? Joe Biden is a what? I like this young man.
Biden is a criminal. He was conducting malfeasance in office to enrich his family. Jake Sullivan is a conspirator in that. And there's more Obama officials involved in it, I believe.
So you are willing to go under oath to state that you are certain that this was a kickback scheme that Joe Biden was orchestrating, correct?
Correct. There's a grand jury right now in Wilmington, Delaware. They've been seated for 3 years with a special prosecutor named David Weiss. If David Weiss can't have me in front of his grand jury explaining what I know as a witness, that's a fraudulent grand jury. It's a fraudulent use of the American judicial system to cover for Barack Obama and Joe Biden's crimes in office.
You hear that? And Obama and Joe Biden's crimes in office. But no, don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the shiny object, everybody. Let's indict Trump over fraudulent information. Let's indict him over that. That's what we need to do. Put out the shiny object, get everyone to be distracted, get everyone not to pay attention to the actual criminal activity that's happening in our country. Hit the share button. I'm asking you, I'm begging you, hit the share button. Hit the thumbs up for me. Hit the thumbs up. This information is so mind-blowing. And the reason why it is because we all knew that this criminal activity was going on. You're like, Will, we already knew this. Right? Let me ask you, who's surprised? Who's surprised that this information is coming out? Who's surprised that this actually happened? No one is surprised. Now, I was taken back a little bit because this guy was, as far as this guy being an Obama staff member, and he's actually telling it. He's actually coming out telling the truth. And they ignored him. Why would the FBI / the DOJ ignore someone that's actually leaving a tip with them? Now, I hope nothing happens to this young man, because you know what happens to people. You remember the guy Seth Rich? What happened to him? They still won't tell us what happened to Seth Rich. Do you know who I'm talking about? And a lot of people completely forget about Seth Rich. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. To my understanding, he suicided himself in the back of the head with 2 bullets. Right? And they don't know. They don't know what happened to him. Just, even Julian Assange was asking what happened. And hey, I think he offered X amount of dollars for anyone who can send me evidence and show me that who did it. I hope nothing happens to this young man. Because if he's walking around and he has all that locked up in him about the information that took place and all the corruption that took place, do you think that they're not going to try to disappear him? Do you think they're not going to? Now, let me talk about this. You know, they had these leaked documents, right? And Joe Biden has was over 1,000 classified documents, and even President Trump tweeted about it. Or not tweeted, sorry, Truth Socialed about it. He told the truth about it. But listen to this. This was on the Communist News Network, and they're talking about the leaked documents. Now, the leaked documents, they're making this connection with the leaked documents because of the gentleman that actually leaked the documents was a young white male at the age of 21, and he was in the reserves, right, Shannon? He was in the reserves?
Yeah, he was in the Air.
He was in the Air
National Guard.
Air National Guard. He's an Air National Guard, right? Which kind of brings another question that how is it that he had this access to this information? Listen to what they say here on the Communist News Network about this information and about the leaked documents.
The Washington Post spoke to a friend of the alleged leaker who said that the documents were posted to an online chat room by someone who worked at an unidentified military base. Some members of the chat group are apparently from Russia. The Post reports that the photos included highly classified satellite images and detailed battlefield charts from Ukraine. Now, CNN has not independently verified the report, but President Biden did comment on the issue for the first time in Dublin. Take a listen.
Mr. President, could you give an update on that leak investigation, the leaked documents from DOD?
I can't right now. There is a full-blown investigation going on, as you know, with the intelligence community and the Justice Department, and they're getting close.
CNN cybersecurity reporter Sean Lindgras joins me now from Washington. Sean, good to have you on the program. So what more do we know about this person, and what are we learning about his motivations?
Now, this is where it gets really crazy. And remember yesterday, for those of you that tuned in yesterday, I talked about how they're going after Christians. You remember how I said that? And what are they saying about him, Shannon? What are they saying about this young man that leaked the documents?
Out there saying that he was a Christian, he was anti-war, and he was pro-gun. So they
all emphasize that he was a Christian.
Right.
But they don't say anything about the terrorist in Nashville, what that terrorist was, going into the Christian school. They say nothing about that person.
They didn't say anything about Christians being killed. No, because they don't care.
And people wondering why the DOJ and the FBI want to infiltrate Christianity. Listen.
Yeah, it's an interesting question because there's a lot of murky details out there. We don't know the exact motivation. I mean, according to the Post article, this person was in a chat room on the social media platform Discord for several months, bonding with some younger people that were shared a love of video games, of guns, and of religion.
You hear that? You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah, they're trying to.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
MAGA,
oh my goodness. He released these documents and he's talking about guns and religion, right? These people on the left, they see all of us that believe in God as the biggest threat to humanity because of their sickness. Because of their sickness, they see us as the biggest threat to humanity. And this is what they're doing. Why do you think the FBI, the DOJ want to infiltrate the Christian community? Why do you think they want to do that? And they're only doing that because they know majority of the people that believe in God in the political realm are Republicans. That's the reason why.
Social media platform Discord for several months, bonding with some younger people that were shared a love of video games, of guns, and of religion. And over a period of time, this person, who the Post calls OG, the leaker, they mean to say, started to present these excerpts of these classified documents and to sort of express his expertise on this and cultivate this rapport with these younger people. So it's an interesting case of sort of almost a cult-like atmosphere going on in this chat room.
Okay, right there. Have y'all noticed, you can get them off the screen. Have y'all noticed here lately, I guess it's been happening maybe the last couple of weeks or so, that they call all Trump supporters in the cult. I mean, they're literally saying this, right? I mean, especially over on Twitter. They say, you Trump supporters, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. You're in a cult. They say that we're in a cult but they are the ones drinking the Kool-Aid.
Kung flu?
They're the ones drinking the Kool-Aid, but we're in the code. How? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And on top of that, they don't want to talk. So they're talking about these leaked documents because this young man put them out there. And personally, this young man is a hero. I'm just saying, because a lot of people were getting upset with me because I was not going along with the liberal media when the liberal media was saying that he probably altered the documents. And I said, they don't do that. Typically, people don't do that. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen or it can happen, but typically, if you're going to leak documents, highly classified documents, you're not going to alter them. Most cases, you leak documents because you want to expose the truth. But it's interesting. They're talking about these documents, but they don't. And they talk about President Trump's Mar-a-Lago documents where President Trump could completely declassify them. But they don't want to talk about Joe Biden's documents. Let's put this up on the screen here. This is what President Trump on Truth Social talking about the classified documents. It says Biden obstructed with thousands of boxes loaded with classified documents. Thousands, people. Many stored in Chinatown.
China.
And you hear nothing about it.
Well,
why are you not hearing anything about it? Because they are protecting the Biden crime family. They're protecting Joe.
Well, I forgot to tell you, on Twitter, they're saying that this is completely racist.
What is?
Because they said...
What's racist?
This statement that Trump made.
How is it racist?
Because he said Chinatown.
China.
I was like, what?
What?
Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco called that section in San Francisco Chinatown.
Yeah, she sure did.
So is she racist too?
She sure did.
That's absurd.
Well, you know what? Again, you know what? For the left, they can do criminal activity. For the left, they can, you know how they constantly say, Trump and no one is above the law. They're actually saying it like this. No one is above the law except for us. That's pretty much how they're saying it.
Because he literally didn't say anything about the classified documents. He only criticized Trump.
Trump said they were stored in Chinatown.
They were.
China.
That's all he said. He didn't say anything. Are you pulling my leg that they're saying this is racist?
I'm not pulling your leg at all. That one guy, that one guy that
that narrows it down. There's a whole bunch of stupid liberals on.
Yeah.
And they like staying on there just because.
They really do. They really do.
Yeah, they like staying on there because, it's like they don't want to go anywhere else. So I have something else I want to share with you. This one, again, this is about. So I just played the clip on the Communist News Network, how they're saying that, they're talking about this guy when he's on Discord and they're talking about guns and talking about religion. He didn't want to, I guess he was told, don't say Christianity. Don't say Christianity because we have a lot of black people and Hispanic people and Asian people that are Christians. So keep that down. Just say religion. Just say religion. Well, technically, we already know, and I talked about it last night, their goal is to go after Christianity, just like what it says in the Bible in the last days. You will be persecuted for my name's sake, talking about Christ. And that's what they're wanting to do, because even Hillary Rodham Clinton, I remember, I'll never forget it, in 2015, there was a video with Hillary Rodham Clinton saying that Christians need to be reprogrammed. They need to be reindoctrinated in their way of thinking because they want all this perversion. Well, listen to Kelly McEnany, where she's talking about this very thing. And I talked about it yesterday, and I want to show it today. Listen.
Viewers can do math. The American people can do math. When you have an administration that won't use the word Christian when 6 Christians are murdered, when you have an administration whose FBI talks about going after radical traditional Catholics, when you have, just yesterday we learned from Jim Jordan, an undercover agent, and the talk of going into Catholic churches. And then this, when Mike Lee puts forward, there have been 34 arrests of pro-lifers, many of whom have been exonerated in courts of law, 81 attacks on abortion facilities, pro-life facilities, and only 2 prosecuted. That doesn't include Catholic churches. What does that all add up to? an overt anti-conservative, anti-Catholic, anti-Christian bias on the part of this administration. It's not that hard. You just add up the pieces and you see what they equal.
Wow. And you know what? I put a video on Instagram and talking about this last night. Actually, I took a small segment of my broadcast last night and I put it on Instagram. And I can't tell you how many leftists are on there. They're so angry with me. And they go, "How dare you? How dare you?" And they're going, Are you suggesting that God is a Republican? And I said, I've never said that in this conversation, but you are. And see, ultimately what it comes down to, that Republicans acknowledge God, Democrats reject God. You understand that? Maybe I need to make a t-shirt that say that. Republicans acknowledge God, Democrats reject God. Because that's exactly what it is, exactly what's happening. Now, I want to talk about another story before we go over to Rumble. Listen to this. This is out right now. You remember, so y'all know that Jim Jordan made requests for Alvin Braggs, right? He made a request to Alvin Braggs for all the documentation that he's going after President Trump, right? Right? You remember? And come to find out that there was federal dollars used by the Attorney General out of New York, Alvin Braggs, to go after President Trump. Federal dollars was used. And then Alvin Braggs decided to sue Jim Jordan. And on top of that, to put a restraining order against Jim Jordan. But to my understanding, the restraining order was thrown out because it's completely idiotic. How are you going to restrain members of Congress? I mean, really?
And he should know that being a DA.
And he's just
really.
And Jim Jordan has every right to ask for that information, that documentation, because federal dollars were used. Listen to this story here. So let's bring this story up here. This is breaking. Well, this is breaking today, right, Shannon?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Representative Biggs says House Republicans have introduced legislation to defund Manhattan DA's office and make them repay federal funds. Biggs said that on Thursday that they would hold the DA's office accountable for not addressing the crime in the city and for using federal resources to prosecute former President Donald Trump. The Daily Caller first obtained the bills. One is called Accountability for Lawless Violence in Our Neighborhoods Act, and the other one is called No Federal Funds for Political Prosecutions Act. The Federal Funds for Political Prosecutions Act prohibits state or local law enforcement agencies from using funds or property attained pursuant to, certain sections. It says to investigate or prosecute a president, vice president, or a candidate for office of president in a criminal case while lawlessness permeates major American cities. So they're saying, listen, don't waste your money on a lawsuit, because you know how much they spent on this lawsuit for President Trump, and yet he's letting all kinds of crime happen in his city.
Oh my goodness!
And he focused on that more than focusing on the crime that's happening in his city that affects his people. He's
supposedly the DA of New York City, but he's more concentrating on President Trump than to protect the people in the city of New York.
Right, and basically he says that he has weaponized the prosecutor's office, and then he also said that with an almost insurmountable national debt that exceeds $1 trillion, the nation simply cannot afford to support Bragg's politicization of the criminal justice system.
So what do you think is going to happen, Shannon, with this whole thing with Attorney General Braggs? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that at some point this case is just going to fall flat on its face, or do you think George Soros is just going to continue pouring money into it along with other anti-American socialist, communist Democrats?
Well, according to, all the people, the experts that we've listened to, they're saying they believe unless they get this actually moved to a different location, that most likely Trump will be charged with some kind of a crime eventually. But you know what?
Because they've gone this far, they're not going to let up.
Yeah.
It's really embarrassing if they do all this and it just falls flat on his face.
But as far as the lawsuit that he has against Jim Jordan, completely ridiculous. And as far as this legislation against the DA's office, quite honestly, the Democrats in the Senate aren't going to go for it. So, but there's a lot of lawsuits flying around and all this stuff, and everybody's trying to flex. And the sad thing is it just magnifies the problem we have in our country.
The corruption.
We have
the corruption we have.
Is getting away with their corruption over and over and over. And because the Democrats are in control of the Senate and the executive office, there's really not a whole lot.
And
the
DOJ and the FBI and the CIA.
All we can do is expose
the
what they're
FTC,
doing.
The FFA, the FCC, all of them. All of them. They're in control of all of them. And even the school board, they're in control of all of them. That's why we're seeing the corruption at the highest level that we're seeing. Okay, let me see. Did we get any super chats? Did anyone bless us with any stars?
No super stats.
No super stats?
I'm sorry, chats.
You're mixing them together.
But
I do that all the time.
did get some stars.
We got some blessings with some stars?
We did. Let me go here. We had Chuck, Chad, Sherry, and Kim.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the blessing, those blessings. Thank you so much.
And listen, remember, you can always go to uniteamericafirst.com/donate and support Will there. There's many different ways if you don't like Facebook stars or super chats, or
I do have a physical address too.
Yeah,
I do have a
Rumble.
physical address. Yep. And we're getting ready to go live on Rumble right now, everybody, for some of this other stuff. I have to split it up like that for obvious reasons. So we're getting ready to go over to Rumble. So for those of you that want to join me on Rumble, let's put it up on the screen. So let's put it up on the screen. Go to Rumble and you can type in my name. Now, one young lady sent me a message saying, Will, I'm having a hard time finding you on Rumble. So that's why I have that down there at the bottom in blue. You can go to a browser, type in www.uaf.media, and my producer she'll put that in the link, www.uaf.media. And what that does, it will direct you to my website, and it shows you the list of the different platforms. All you have to do is go to it and scroll down and click on Rumble, and it will take you directly. It will take you directly to my Rumble channel. And while you're there,
the third one down, by the way.
The third one down. And while you're there, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Lynn, thank you so much for the stars. I see you there. And Ruby, thank you so much for this Facebook stars as well. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to end it here. So please join me over on Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. You like that?
Sure.
You like that? Okay. All right. We're ending it on Facebook and YouTube, everybody. Join us over there. Join us over there. We'll see you over there in a minute. All right.